Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and I am making some metal embellishments. And what I've done was I started with a soda pop can, and I cut off the top and bottom and then sliced the tube open so that I've got some aluminum to work with. When you're cutting this, however, make sure that you're wearing protective gloves. It is sharp. And then I just use my Tim Holtz scissors because they can stand to cut the metal without damaging them. But safety first. This is very important. I don't want you cut. And this is a lot of fun to do. So you end up with this piece of aluminum, and then I'm using die cuts. And here's what the finished product is that I have so far. And so I have a peacock, and I've used a couple of different colors of alcohol ink on it, and a bunch of butterflies. Some open ones, little tiny ones. Here's a little flying one with the wings are up on themselves. And here's like butterfly vine. And I have a couple of those. And then here, this is a butterfly stamp. And then I used my Copic markers and chameleon alcohol ink pens and colored it in. And when you're going to use stamps, you have to be very careful. Do some practicing to see that you have an ink that your alcohol markers are not going to destroy. So it's sharp when cutting it out, but after it's die cut, the edges are nice and smooth and rolled over, so it's not as sharp anymore. But let me show you my process, because this is fun. I'm making these for an upcoming design team project for Studio 28E. Of course, it's got to be botanical because that's how I roll. But also, it is using her Blueberry Eco Dyed digital kit. And I think these butterflies would look nice with it. And I thought we would give it a try to see if I can get another little peacock cut. The peacocks aren't going to go in this journal, but they're fun. And so I'm just putting the die blade side down onto the aluminum. And then I washi tape it down. Grab some more so that it's not going to move around a lot. And let's go ahead and place this one on here also. Then we have a couple to work with. We'll do some alcohol inks, and then we'll do some markers so you can see both processes. So I'm going to flip it down. This is a magnetic sheet that holds my dies. Here we can go ahead and we might as well use the space. Let's cut another one of these little guys. I think they're going to be fun in the journal. And grab my plates. sandwich that all down. I have a cut and boss, so I'm going to use that. It's going to be a little bit loud. Sometimes I have to run it through twice, but most of the time I'm good. But I'm going to take a quick peek here to make sure that it is cut through, or if we have to run it through again. Looks like it should be good. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. And lift that up. And then I just use my little brush and get the little bits out of there. Oh, it fell right out. That's good. Looks like some of the pieces have to be poked. These are going to be so much fun in the journal. So that one's ready to go. Okay, let's see what happened here. Are we going to have to run it through again? And we don't want to get cut on this. I'm going to remove the washi tape, and I just keep reusing it until it doesn't stick anymore. Let's see if I can brush out my pieces, or if we need to run it through again. I think I'm going to go ahead and run it through. Some of them seem to be sticking quite well, so I'm going to remove the debris. We don't want that sticking in my magnet mat. And we've got the cut side up. So let's just go ahead and do it. I think it's going to be much better now. Yep, they're just falling away. And get that little eye punched out. And let's see if we can break it loose from the die. They have little release holes along the edges. And there's our peacock. Love it. It's a beautiful die. Okay, let's see if we can get our pieces out of this one. These little shards on this wing aren't as easy to punch out. Well, let's release it. Hit those release holes. Yeah, this one didn't like to cut as well as the other one. Well, that's okay. We still can play with it and have some fun. So I'm going to move this so we don't have our debris. And let's grab a little paper towel so we can make a mess. Okay, how about if my others are all blues and purples, so how about if we make them a little bit different colors this time? Let's go with, see, I've got, in the reds, I've got cranberry, currant, and crimson. Let's do some cranberry. Boy, they're on there tight. Just putting a few drops on the pad. Giving it a little bit of a background. I like to layer colors to get more depth. let that one dry just a little tiny bit, and then if I put on another color immediately while it's still wet, it'll mostly take off the color rather than add to it. So let's play with the peacock a little bit while we're waiting. It'll dry in like not even a minute, but let's have some fun. Let's make the peacock, you know what, let's go with purple. Purple Twilight. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Do I have a purple pad? I do. I reuse these things like crazy. See, it's reactivating some of the inks that are in the pad. So I get a fun color, don't I? It's got some blues in there. And if you don't like that, you can use a new pad for each color, but I think it adds to the depth. And there are no rules with coloring, are there? Gives me a layer to start with. Okay, we'll let that dry a minute and we'll go back to this little guy. Let's try a little bit of currant on him. It's really getting pink. Pink isn't what I had intended, but there are no rules, right? It's kind of cool. And we'll add some other fun colors to them. Let's go with some oranges. Monarch colors. I've got sunset orange and peach Bellini. Oh, and I've got some yellows, so we'll have fun. I'm going with the sunset orange. Gives it a nice little background. Okay, let's go back to this little guy and let's add some Cool Perry. I'm going to move the pad over a bit so I get a little bit of different color. Whoa, quite a bit of that ink came on. See what it does. Indigo on here will be pretty too. And with the alcohol inks, you want to make sure that you're in a ventilated area. kind of cool. It has some different modeling. I like that look. Okay, let's go back to this little guy and see if we can give him a little bit more color. Let's go into the crimson. Whoa, it's getting redder now. I'm just hitting kind of like the outside of the wings. I like that. Find him. So hopefully you can see a little bit of the lighter currant and cranberry in the inside and the crimson kind of on the outside. We'll let that one dry for a minute. And with this orange one, you know, I'm going to go with some more of that crimson on here. I bet you that would be pretty. Oh, there it is. Found it. I just kind of like that dimension we get. It's so shiny, it's kind of hard to see. Maybe there you can, but it's really pretty. It's got that orange and that crimson. And with this guy, I want to try bringing a little bit of that mermaid in on top of this peacock. I've got mermaid and aquamarine. Let's try the mermaid. It's a little bit greener than the other one. See what it does. Oh, I like that. And then by dabbing it in spots, you get that fun feather look. And no two will ever be the same. I think that's my favorite part. I love that. Okay. Now, I wanted to show you a little bit about adding in the alcohol markers to it. And we might play with this one. It's a little damaged and stuff, but you know, it's all good. We can play with the metal. I can show you my process. I have, now for the body, let's use this bark color. Can just color in the center, or maybe the black would be better. Let's try the black. And you get that body into it. And then I think what I want to do is dab some of the color over the top of it, soften it up. I like that. It's like a gray now. And this one. Two little butterflies. And I love this just the way it is. I was going to add some more green to the eyes of the feather, but I'm going to leave it alone. Let's just play with this one so that you can see what I do with some of the markers. And with the chameleon, you get two nibs, just like you do with the Copics, the very fine and the more of the bullet point. And just color on it. It colors on the aluminum really nice. And here I've got Copics too, so you can see how they work on here. Yeah, I'm just playing with this. This one's not for keep, but I just want to show you how both the Copic and the chameleon both work. This is a deep reddish blue. Let's try a different blue, lapis. So you can see a little bit more. This was the chameleon and the Copic. So they both work great. I just have more variety with my chameleons than I do with my Copics. It's kind of a crazy, crazy little thing, but you get the idea. It works with both. And do remember that when you have alcohol markers, that they need to be stored horizontally, not vertically. So they have to be stored flat. But there you can see where you can color on your metal with markers and with alcohol inks. So, and here we have back to our original. So here's our two different peacocks. This one's got more of the green from the mermaid, and this one has more of the indigo. But they're both great. And then we have our reds and oranges. But I want to thank you so much for watching today. And go out and give it a try. Thank you so much and have a great day.